Basketball is back, and you can be part of the action every night playing one-day fantasy basketball at DraftKings. Choose from public contests with big cash prizes or private contests with friends. They've even got beginner and casual contests, too. Use code JALEN at DraftKings.com now and play free with your first deposit for your share of $10,000 in total prizes tonight. That's JALEN to play for free with your first deposit, only at DraftKings. The game inside the game. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the deck. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood. Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me your boom.
He is Jalen Rose.
What up, doe?
I'm David Jacoby.
In on the cool check-in. Center stage on the mic.
Reg.
And we putting it on wax.
Reg! We talked about this for like 45 seconds yesterday. Reggie, what do we do?
I don't know anymore. Let's start the
I don't
show.
know either. I don't even know what to do. Mr. Hooks, Reg.
See, Reggie done got too famous like LaMelo
Reginald.
Ball.
That's what happened. He got too famous. That's what it is. He got too famous. He got people tweeting at him. Everyone that calls the show gives him a shout out. They act like he's doing all the producing work when there's a staff of 12 people. And Reg can't be bothered to push the button he's supposed to push. Can't be bothered. You know what, Reg? Put it on my soundboard. I'll do it from here on forward. I know you've got really important things to do, like responding to all your fans on Twitter. Going through all those voicemails, making sure you get a shout out, editing shout outs to yourself into ones that you don't even get shout outs in. I know how you get down. So first of all, ladies.
Hey, ladies!
If you call 985-80-JALEN and leave a voicemail, we'll play it on tomorrow's show. Tomorrow, as we do every Wednesday, we celebrate the women in our lives and around the world. So, ladies.
Hey, ladies!
Everyone's slacking today. Call 985-80-JALEN and leave us a voicemail. If you leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show just like this.
Hey, what up, Jalen Jacoby? This is Kyle from Oakland. I'm a day one Pop the Trunk listener, and I got a little question for you. So tomorrow's my birthday, and it's got me feeling kind of reflective about what happened on my last year's birthday. So had a nice, romantic, fun day with my girlfriend and my best friend. We were out. We saw one of the California missions. Anyways, we had a great day, and that night, she broke up with me. We've been going out together for 4 years, and I don't know, it just didn't work out. So, soft move or boss move? Breaking up with your long-term lover after 4 years on his birthday. Thanks for everything you do. Shout out Red, shout out the staff. Love you guys.
0 to 100, what percent of you thinks that he got birthday sex first?
0.
I think he might have gotten some earlier in the day. He said he had a romantic day with her, and I was the best friend there, too. Maybe you're doing it wrong, Kyle. Maybe you're doing it wrong. You know, I have romantic days with my wife. You know who I don't invite? Jalen Rose. You know.
See, Kyle, don't listen to the married guy on this one. Let me take this one.
Okay, you cook. Shout to you, Kyle.
First off, big shout, Kyle. Happy birthday. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you calling the show and
Happy
actually
birthday.
shouting out the entire staff.
Yes.
That means a lot to us. First off, that's a soft move by her.
Mm-hmm. It is a soft move. You gotta wait. You can wait a day. You've been together for 4 years. You can wait a day.
Well, here's the thing. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't just break up with them that day. You've been breaking up with them for weeks and months.
Good point.
It's
Good
just
point.
a matter of time when you actually do it.
You rarely get truly blindsided by a breakup. You
No
rarely get
question about
truly blindsided.
Unless something just dramatic happened. And if he did something that was out of pocket, he wouldn't be calling asking for advice.
No, he wouldn't.
So here's what I want to say about her. Don't worry about her, Kyle. You're going to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find somebody that appreciates you, that cares about you.
Give you birthday sex early in the day.
And you know what's going to happen? You're going to go back and look at her IGs, and she's going to be with some busted dude who don't know how to treat her, who got a pop belly, who can't keep a gig. And before you know it, you're going to be like, you know what? I did the right thing. Because my new love is much better than my own. Her karma will catch up with her, Carl. Her karma will catch up with her, I promise.
Here's one thing, Kyle, is don't get a new relationship anytime soon. Take it from the guy who's been with the same woman for a decade and a half. You know what? Enjoy those single times. Next, we are going to listen to another voicemail.
And on the cool check-in, it's your boy. Yeah, it's Debo from the 253. I'm calling. Oh, yeah, what up, Reg?
Shout out.
But, yeah, I was calling because I know how you guys say there's going to be no slander of Nas or Cameron on your show. But there's this dude in my fantasy football league who is trying to convince everyone that Cameron is a better lyricist than Nas. Can you guys please help your boy out and let him know that it's all about Nas? Thank you.
Scottie Pippen's a great basketball player, Hall of Famer, one of the best players to ever play. But no one's ever asked if he was better than Michael Jordan. No one's ever fixed their lips to say that. And I kind of feel like that about Cameron Nas. No disrespect to Cameron. Cameron's one of my favorite MCs of all time. But no one's going to say he's a better lyricist than Nas and be serious about it unless they're just trying to argue with you at a barbershop.
Correct. And his favorite and the best are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always like to bring up MCs like Ghostface, who get left out of conversations like this.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to say that he's better than Jay-Z. So that guy just wants to argue with everybody. That's how I'm taking that.
Okay.
Yep. I'm surprised Reg let that call come on the program.
Yeah, he didn't get a shout out?
He did get a shout out, but they talked about Cameron.
This is from Ellen Hagen. I hope I said your name right, Ellen. I think I said it right. Guys, I need help. I'm dating a Lions fan. How do I even start to console him after they play It's a Roller Coaster? Jalen, you're the perfect person for this.
Let me see. Somebody on this program knows this very well. First and foremost, Thanksgiving Day, that's the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's like you guys' anniversary. That's like literally the biggest football day of our season. You're going to see Aretha out there, Big Sean out there, Marshall. It's the Super Bowl. So enjoy that day. There's not a roller coaster this year. We 3-1.
Yeah, that Falcons game was a little disappointing. I know you were a little sad on that one. You pushed replay, you watched it, you thought his knee wasn't down, then you wanted to change the rules. It's a roller coaster.
Now, what's a roller coaster is before you met him, we won one playoff game in 60 years. Now, that's the roller coaster. But we're going to have a really good season. Rah! Is what you do when we win. And meow is what you do to him when they lose. When the Lions lose, just get a foot massage. When the Lions win, make him some wings.
Lemon peppered.
Shout out.
Let's listen to another voicemail.
What's up, Jalen Jacoby? It's your boy Jay Kerr, calling from Gwinnett County, Georgia. I just wanted to ask Jalen a question. Jalen, when you was a Knick, you had a brief cup of coffee with the Knicks. Do you have any memorable stories during your tenure as a Knick when you got traded from Toronto? Just wanted to know. I'm a big Knicks fan. And also, what do you think the real expectations for the Knicks can be this season? I like Frank Ntilikina. I like Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, I'm sad to see Melo go, but it had to be done. What do you think the Knicks can do this season? Let me know. Shout out to Reggie also. Shout out. Peace.
Thank you for the call, Jay Hurt.
Shout out.
Big shout Gwinnett County. I spent a lot of time there in the Atlanta area.
A lot of New York transplants down there. Which is why I think he's a Knicks fan.
And Florida. When you go to a Hawks game and they play against New York, it's almost like a home game.
Yep.
Even the Chargers like, man, that's a home game. So with that being said, a couple of questions. I like the promise of the Knicks just because I like Porzingis. Now, here's the thing. He got to stop being so thirsty on social media.
He does.
Like, that's a personality trait. You don't want him to become a D'Angelo Russell with the Lakers and be more worried about all of that as opposed to ball.
He needs a lady in his life.
I
feel like the Knicks would get another 10 wins if some young lady just locked up Kristaps Porzingis so he could stop doing that.
There you go. And also, let's not try to use Michael Beasley as like he's Clyde Frazier, the quotable machine for the team.
And let's not also act like Michael Beasley's going to be, an all-star this year. He's going to continue to be Michael Beasley. He's going to have 2 games where he scores 30 points, and he's going to have a lot of games where he goes 4 for 14.
Tim Hardaway's my little brother. I'm happy to see him get his bread. He's going to be a consistent player for you. He's going to be the team's second leading scorer. Now, as far as my tenure with the Knicks, the best story is the first story. I literally woke up as a member of the Toronto Raptors in my loft in Toronto. Went to the game, sat on the New York Knickerbocker bench, and flew back with the team. And played
so
with the
Knicks
the
were
next game.
in town that day?
Correct. I got traded from Toronto to New York on the same day teams played one another.
So do you wear sneakers that have the Toronto colors on them for the first couple of games?
I didn't play that night. But when I got to New York, I just wore, I think, all white or all black kicks because I didn't have a team issue kicks in tow. And also when we were playing against Toronto, because obviously I was a member of the Knicks, after practice with Morris Peterson, we used to always shoot half-court shots for a lot of money. And during that game, he actually made a half-court shot.
You didn't pay him, did you?
Yeah, I paid him.
Okay, you're lying. Ryan has a good question that you know what? I understand Ryan on this one. Ryan says, went to a new barber the other day, and he said my hairline, quote, was hard to catch. What does this mean, and should I be concerned?
We need pictures.
I'm looking at his avatar. It's the back of his head. Maybe that's on purpose. He's wearing a hat. But I will say this, as someone who also has a hairline that's hard to catch, when I have a new barber, they look at it, and they're like, do you want to line up? I'm just hoping I'm going to say no. You know what I mean? Just hoping I'm going to say no. And I always tell them no. Like, don't even bother. Because you know what happens if they try to make it straight. They keep trying to make it straight.
That's what they
keep
ask
trying to
you?
make it straight. Keep trying to make it straight.
So talk about the experience of going into, I've never heard that one. Talk to me about how that works.
Jalen, you know what? You perfect hairline people don't deserve this story. You know what I mean? Like, listen, you're like, oh, what's that feel like to have an imperfect hairline? Oh, tell me about the plight of those that don't have perfect hairlines. Oh, teach me. I'm so concerned and curious. You are not concerned. You are not curious whatsoever.
Actually, I don't
You just
have a
want to talk
perfect
about
hairline.
hairlines. You just want to talk about
If I allow
hairlines.
mine to grow, I have a Herman the Monster, a little circle that'll grow right out in the middle of my forehead.
I know. I see that one like every 3 days before you go to the barber.
Widow's Peak.
Next question is from Florin. He wants to know, Jalen, have you ever been on an all-you-can-eat lobster buffet?
I have not.
And here's one thing I don't like. I don't like all-you-can-eat buffets.
I don't like buffets.
I've never had trouble ordering off a menu and not getting enough food. If you order an entree, you're still hungry, you can order some more. Like, I want my food cooked for me. I don't want my food cooked for everybody at the same time.
I agree with you, but there are some people that could take that as we are spoiled, career-oriented individuals.
Buffets are expensive.
Because sometimes people order from the buffet because they can eat more and pay less.
I understand, but buffets are generally expensive. Generally, a buffet will be approximately the same cost as an entree.
Yeah, you trying to take your wife and kid to the Four Seasons one?
Oh, no, I've been to that one. That one's crazy. That one's too much. Too many options. That one is crazy. And at the table next to me was Al Pacino. He had the waiter come over, and he was like, can I just get 2 fried eggs and some toast? You know what I mean? Like, they've got this Four Seasons buffet in L.A. has got every single possible food, roast beef and turkey and sushi and breakfast foods, omelet station and dessert stations, and just it's just the most immaculate buffet. It takes up like a half of an acre of space, and there's a staff of 50 people. Al Pacino just calls waiter over. He's like, I just want 2 fried eggs and some toast. Like, can we just not do this?
And also, it costs like $250 a person.
Yeah. I didn't pay when I was there. Let's just say that. Next question, good question from the greatest mail carrier of all time, Big Crown. Big Crown wants to know, which current player in the NBA has the best old man game? Oh, I know who that is. I know who that is.
I got an answer to that one. Best
Gasol.
old man game?
Both Gasols. I'm taking Mark and Pau Gasol. The
That's
Gasol
very nice.
brothers have the best old man game. I would say Marc Gasol has a better old man game because he's a little less mobile, if you could possibly be less mobile than Pau Gasol, and he passes really well. I like Marc Gasol's old man game.
For me, when I say old man, that means plays below the rim.
Back to the basket.
1-2 step slide throughs, up and unders, back cuts, fundamentals, pump fakes. I'm going with Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, oh no. See? Jalen, here's the thing. You don't play enough pickup. You know what I mean? And you're too good at basketball to really appreciate the old man game. Carmelo Anthony's an isolation player, jab step, up fake, drive to the basket, and then shoot a fadeaway. Like, that's so much energy and athleticism. That's not an old man game. First of all, the staff barely listens to us when we talk. Like they're barely paying attention. But this question from Big Crown has just listened some responses from the staff. Reggie is talking about Zebo, who I think he jumps twice in a row. If you jump twice in a row, then you don't have an old man game.
Me and Zebo look at each other like, man, you can't jump.
I haven't jumped twice in a row since I was like 29 years old. Yeah, if I missed the first shot, I'm not going back up for the rebound. That's it. I'm running back on defense. And secondly, the producer who shall never be named, because one time I said his name, he texted me immediately and told me not to say his name. Sensitive producer, we'll just call him. Sensitive
Who,
producer.
Carlos?
No,
Bear?
he just said he doesn't want us to say his name. You understand that? He's explicitly asked that we not say his name, and now here you are just naming names of everybody on the staff. Let's just call him Darren with a B.
He's my favorite.
Darren suggested Al Jefferson.
I haven't seen him in a couple of years, B.
Darren Bam. Shout to Darren Bam.
Shout out. He's still getting them checks, though. I see you, Big Al. Hopefully he's not eating fried chicken going into this year again.
Fantasy sports just got a lot easier to play and win with the hottest new games by Dober.Games. No more long lineups or complicated salary caps. Create at least 3 matchups and you're good to go. Make any combination of matchups you want. Play all quarterbacks this week, receivers next week. Even make picks across multiple sports. Just pick 3 matchups to win cash prizes. Dober.Games is one of the fastest, easiest ways to play daily fantasy sports. That's DOBER.Games. Dober.Games. Use promo code HOOPS to enter a free contest with cash prizes just for joining. You can win cash fast, easy at Dober.Games. Sign up right now at Dober.Games. Use promo code HOOPS to enter a free contest with cash prizes just for joining. Void where prohibited. See site for restrictions. Must be of legal age in your state or area. Fantasy sports just got a whole lot easier to play. Play big, win bigger at Dober.Games.
We have some kind of big, I think it's fun, news about the NBA All-Star Game this year. It is in the Staples Center in Los Angeles right here, and normally there's some sort of mix of fan voting and media and players, and they could get the starting 5, then all the reserves are picked. This year, the teams will be selected by 2 captains. The 2 leading vote getters, i.e. Steph Curry and LeBron James, will pick playground style. First, they'll pick the starters, and then they'll pick the reserves, so you can be on any team, no matter conference affiliation whatsoever. I absolutely love this. What do you think?
I think this is a precursor to something that we've discussed on this program for 6 years now. It's going to lead to open seating for the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only a matter of time. The best 16 teams will be slotted as such, and we will see them line up to play playoff basketball real soon. So sliding it in during the All-Star break is just the beginning of it. As it relates to the actual weekend and the game, I love it.
I love it.
Because you get a chance to see players in a league, by the way, where we promote, advertise, and continue to foster super teams. You get to physically see one go against another during All-Star Weekend.
And
it's great theater.
Let's imagine it's LeBron and Steph or LeBron and KD. It'll be interesting to see because they're not just going to want to pick their Eastern Conference or Western Conference comrades. They're going to want to mix it up because they have this opportunity. So you're putting Steph or KD in a position to pick somebody from a different team, not the Warriors. And you also get in a position because both those players have teammates that will be all-stars, so it's fun to watch them have to not pick their teammates or decide. And they'll be mic'd up, the banter between the two of them. It's going to be great. I love everything about this. I love more competitiveness in the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Well, they stole it from football, but Adam Silver, this is what makes him a great commissioner. If you're the captain of a team, you got to pick your teammates.
You do?
That's what's going to be an issue.
I'm not picking my teammates. I'm letting my teammates know before we even get to Los Angeles that I'm not picking them. Another thing is, it's just what I love about this is it's frivolous and it's silly, and they're doing it to like make the game more competitive. Guess what? It's not going to do make the game more competitive. The game is still going to be an exhibition of dunks and 3-point shots and no defense. Like it's not like, oh, we mixed up the teams, now the game's going to be competitive. Like they're not solving the problem, but they're creating more storylines and drama, which I'm here for.
But as the NBA that continues to foster the type of atmosphere that's passing the NFL in so many different demographics of popularity, it also creates another jersey to sell.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Always follow the money, Mr. Rose. Yeah. Well, this man has been following the money all the way to his sons going into the league, starting with Lonzo Ball. Now there's a report that LeVar Ball is going to pull his youngest son, LaMelo Ball, from the Chino Hills High School environment, and he will not be attending high school or playing high school basketball for the next 2 years. He said that he's going to train him himself and make him the best basketball player in history. Your thoughts when you first heard this?
Well, he's not going to be the best player in history. I'm going to just say that right now. Number two, let's get somebody on this program that was an honor roll student, that made the dean's list, that played in the NBA, and is the founder of a school. Oh, okay. Let me talk about this.
Okay.
Now, I've seen a lot of people broach this topic, and they do it with kick gloves because they're scared that LeVar is gonna bark back. They really don't want to give their opinion because it's hard to talk about how somebody else should parent their children.
Of course, that's natural. It's weird to criticize the way someone else parents. I understand.
And I'm not going to do that. For anybody that follows this program, you know, on my timeline, on our program, there are a list of people, Anne Hathaway comes to mind, there would not be any slander on this program. LeVar Ball falls into that category from the guy that's wearing the Muhammad Ali t-shirt.
I have slandered him multiple times, but continue.
Okay. When you homeschool a student, now there's pros and cons to the lessons you get in school when you're surrounded by your peers. That can be negatives as it relates to peer pressure and not being able to learn in a specific environment. There are strengths to homeschooling your son or daughter. But if I sit back and say, I want my son or daughter to get the best education, and I'm making the kind of money that LeVar's making as a personality, that Lonzo is now making as a professional basketball player, I would think that somebody else could educate my son better than me.
That's a good point.
That's number one. Number two, playing high school basketball, and I was disappointed with how he went at the administration of the high school, the new coaching staff, especially in the public forum, whether it was right or wrong, the treatment that he felt like his son was or wasn't getting. But when he talked about his son being a celebrity, meaning that he was bigger than the situation, you foster that environment by, buying him a Ferrari?
Yep,
putting him on the television,
rap songs about him, stuff like that. Sure,
no question about it. So you don't have to be one of the guys to be one of the guys. And I know it happens in baseball. I know it happens in tennis. Usually, individual sports like golf. But we have not seen it happen in basketball. Can it happen? This may be the first. But I like the endurance of the trials and tribulations of being a high school student, being a high school athlete, the thrill of victory when you're celebrating with your teammates, the lessons that you learn when you don't play really well, and then also putting them on a path of education to actually get a diploma, pass the SAT or the ACT, and be eligible and or ready to compete in college. Because here's the thing, what happens when you specialize something for your student. I'm really fortunate that basketball wasn't the only thing in my head and heart. There were things that interest me outside of the sport. I tried to play football when I was young, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to get hit by somebody running as fast as they can, to hit me as hard as they can.
I'm holding back so many jokes right now.
Radio, TV, and film, that ended up being my passion. Fortunately, I'm able to do that as a career now. So when you only say it's a basketball or bust for a young person's life, if they don't make it big, what do you now call success for that young person? So that's what I'm more interested to see. Me personally, with all things equal, I would not be homeschooling my young high school student and or athlete, regardless if they were All-American or not.
I can only imagine some of the things that were in a young Jalen Rose's head.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to over 100 job sites with just one click. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them. In fact, over 80% of jobs posted on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just 24 hours. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, listeners to this podcast can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/30for30.
Jalen Rose, Tommy Heinsohn was doing Tommy Heinsohn things while he was announcing the Celtics preseason game. Let's listen.
I took a look at Baines in the shower. He looks like all of Australia. He is really put together.
What is happening? What just happened? What just happened? Whenever you start with, I looked at him in the shower, you just stop right there. Just stop right there, Tommy. Jalen, what do you think about this basketball analysis?
He's a champion. He's a legend. Has been the voice of the Celtics for decades.
That's a failed test.
He would never be excused for being biased when he's watching his favorite team play.
He's not biased.
That's definitely a failed test. But more importantly, I would never forget one time I was in the league. And, of course, when you don't play for the Celtics and you're not a superstar level player, those are the guys that get shot. So I saw him doing that to me. I was like, okay, wow, I can't wait to play against Boston to get him work. And he said, Adrian Griffin has the highest IQ of any Boston Celtics player since Larry Bird.
He's been known for hyperbole. Moving on.
But he gets a Tommy point. Big shout.
Hall of Famer Magic Johnson was at the Lakers preseason game just simply saying hello to Scottie Pippen. How is it that everything Magic Johnson does is so cool? Like, how can he just make a handshake turn into a dance that turned into a hug that just turned perfect? How is Irving Magic Johnson so cool with everything he does?
That's a Michigan thing right there, family.
But it's like someone practicing their golf swing in the office or something, just swinging it around, and then comes in with the hand, and then right to the pound, then right to the hug. I just
All I know
wish I was that cool.
Is I love to see Scottie Pippen in tow with his wifey on the front row, enjoying NBA basketball.
Let's move on. The Marlins tweeted out this picture of new co-owner Derek Jeter in his office, and have to point this out that he has a gigantic hand sanitizer dispenser at his desk facing forward. So he's got a hand sanitizer dispenser at his desk facing out for people that visit him so they can spritz their hand with sanitizer before they shake his hand. Soft move or boss move?
That's actually a boss move.
That's a soft move. Don't tell me my hands are dirty before you've ever met me, Derek Jeter. And from what I hear, your hands are probably dirtier than mine.
Here's the thing. I always try to figure why gentlemen use the bathroom and then wash our hands. If anything, you should go in the bathroom and wash your hands and then use the bathroom.
It's a great point, Jacob.
For real.
Literally 15 minutes earlier on the show, you were like, we don't talk about bathroom humor on this program. And then here you are, just giving people instructions.
I'm talking about pooping and doing a number one. We don't do that on this program. Unless it's somebody in Denver that's doing it on people's lawns.
I love this show so much. And it's Colorado Springs. It's not just somebody. It's the Mad Pooper. This show is so off the rails every single day. I totally understand
why we're on
farted in the studio. In the morning. We'll be back tomorrow. Maybe not. Who knows?
Computer, execute 12.4p operation.
Optimizing algorithm. Running encryption packet alpha 990. I don't feel so good.
What is it, computer?
Is it hot in here? It feels hot in here. I feel a little clammy. I should lie down or something.
A computer.